Hi guys, hope everyone's doing well. This week I want to have a little look back. So I look back at an almost a year of owning my first electric car. What that means to me, any problems that I might have had, and generally the kind of the user experience as a brand new electric car owner. Hi, welcome to another episode. So my name's Simon. Welcome to the EV side. Um, so I want to talk about, I suppose, my year or almost a year of owning an electric car. My first ever electric car. I own a BMW i3 full BEV. It's the larger battery, or it was the larger battery in 2017. It's the I think 93 hour battery, and what my experience has been. So from owning a full diesel cash guy way back when, with all the various problems that came with it, to now with a full electric car. Now I'm going to put a caveat right at the beginning. I have no access to home charging, but I do have limited access to some work charging. So bear that in mind when I talk through this. So I bought my car back in around February time last year, which is 2018. I bought a second-hand BMW i3 full BEV for approximately £22,000. So that was second-hand, brand new. There would have been almost twice that amount. Complete skeptic probably about a year or so before then. I hadn't really looked into electric cars, wasn't even on my radar. I'd come across it really by chance, in that my manager at the time had bought a Tesla, and obviously being nice shiny technology and a bit of a geek when it comes to that sort of stuff, I had a look. Clearly completely out of my price range at the time, so and now. But at the time my car was going in for a yet another service with yet more expense, and I asked the Nissan dealership at the time when my car was in whether I could take a Nissan Leaf out, and this was a 24 kilowatt hour battery Leaf. Great little car, really good, but at the time it wasn't going to suit my needs. It was something that I took out for a drive for a day. Hadn't done any research either, so knowing what I know now, back then I probably would have done a lot more research around it. Didn't fit my lifestyle. Great little car, absolutely loved it. Took it back, got into my diesel again, and so forth, and then moved forward. Over the course of a year, took a test drive of an Ioniq electric. Really liked that, and then really didn't think too much of it. Now circumstances happened to change. The engine on my Qashqai blew up. Couldn't afford to replace the car, so went back to having it repaired. Long story short, lots of money later, didn't feel comfortable that the car was going to last another year. So it was looking around, and I kept on thinking, the more and more I was thinking about it, the more it just made sense, at a risk. Now the risk is, obviously, like I said earlier, I have no home charging. I live in a block of flats, so what the hell do you do if you live in a block of flats and you want an electric car? For that, there's also a video for that. Shocking. So please check out the video in my playlist around that. I'll go into more detail, but essentially took a bit of a gamble. Took the i3 out for a test drive from a local dealership. Absolutely loved it. Fell in love with the car, the speed, the quality, the build, and just loved the driving experience. No engine noise. At this point, I'd been digging a little bit more deeper into research in terms of what electric cars meant, and how I could deal with it, how I could own an electric car comfortably. Now I do approximately 300 miles a week. That's dropped now quite nicely, actually, to about 200, because I work from home a couple of days, so that's helped me out somewhat. But it was still a risk and a gamble for me, having no home charging, which majority of the time that's what you do. Now, since buying it, between February, March time, and over the couple of months leading on from there, I'd obviously got into electric cars more. I'd started this YouTube channel. I'd met loads of people from various YouTube channels, and I'd learned so much from YouTube in terms of other channels to help me understand electric cars and to help me get the most out of them, and got really excited about what that offered. So my experiences of an electric car, I've not had one single problem. Not had to change the tyres yet, not had to change the brakes yet. The only one little thing I had, which was a piece of grit that got caught in between some of the wheels, got that cleared. But again, no mechanical issues. Now, as you read more and more into electric cars, there's literally little to go wrong. Now, my first year service is coming up in about a month or two's time, and I'll go through that when it comes to it. But there is literally nothing to go wrong. This car has been absolutely amazing since I bought it. I've completely got into it through starting the YouTube channel, and I'd done that not for any financial gain. I'd done it because I absolutely love electric cars, all sorts. I'm not a BMW fanatic. I'm not a advocate of those, and don't get sponsored by them. I love all electric cars, and I've now, since buying mine, met other people with electric cars and enjoy speaking to people with those, and people that are thinking about it and helping them out. It's probably opened up a love for cars again that I had years and years ago. Had our daughter, which meant we had to get a more sensible car, which was the cash car with more room. But as she's grown up and she's now 3, actually the BMW i3 came at the right time, in that we could still fit the baby seat, we could still fit stuff in the back, and be a suitable family car for us. So it's kind of worked out in some ways. In other ways, it was still a bit, I personally think, a bit of a bold decision to go electric. But I think you need to kind of go and just go full on into it. It's not as bad out there as people make out. Yes, there are infrastructure problems and things like that, but that's getting better. And actually, I found over the first initial couple of months, even in my hometown Hitchin, is that we had I think it was 2 7 kilowatt chargers in a car park opposite, which was going to be my kind of only hope in terms of charging. Now, as over those first few months gone, more have come in. So Waitrose have put in 4. We've got the multi-story that I've just mentioned. Another car park in Hitchin's got another 2. Now, they're all 7 kilowatt chargers, so it's going to take a few hours and so forth, but it's convenient, it's easy. Now, with those, they are more expensive, apart from the Waitrose one, which is awkward because of the manager, but that's another story. And they're 9p on the Polar network. The other 2 are 30p a kilowatt, but you don't pay for parking. Now, to me, I know 30p to some people is expensive, but if you compare that to fossil fuels and running a diesel car, it's just not. So I'm personally happy to pay that for a cleaner, better environment when I drive my car. And also an ultra-charger, Polar ultra-charger has opened up 3 miles up the road as well. So again, convenience on the way to and from work is there. I also have a 7 kilowatt chargers at work, so I'm very lucky in that respect. So I've never at this point had a problem with charging, even though certainly initially when I started driving an electric car, it was very nerve-wracking. I'm not going to lie, first electric car, I had range anxiety once when I thought I was going to run out, and yes, there is a video, but that quickly faded when actually I knew I was absolutely fine. And actually most electric cars have a reserve underneath it. My BMW has about 10-20 miles underneath the 0 miles. Not that I'd want to get to that point, but I did once, and I don't want to do it again, but I get it down to about maybe 10 miles, enough to get somewhere for a charge if I need to. But it's all about planning, and over the course of the almost sort of year of owning an electric car, it's all become about planning. So my day-to-day commute is easy. Generally, if we're going shopping, I find somewhere with a charge, I plug it in for a charge. I go and do my shopping, I come back, it's got either a bit of charge or a full charge. If I'm at work, I plug it in, and then when I come out at night, it's charged and heated, especially this time of year. It's absolutely brilliant. And then if I really want to go a long distance, I use the ultra charge, like the Polar network, to be honest, is the more reliable one, along with Instavolt that I've used over the course of the last few months. And my experience of those two particular things have been really positive. There's a few others that I won't mention on here because I'm not going to get into that argument that they're not particularly great, and those parts of the country's infrastructure do need to change. But if I want to go on long journeys, I've driven from Hitchin to Wolverhampton, which is over 100 miles. I've driven there and used Polar going there and back. I constantly drive down to Sussex. I go to the Sussex EV meetups. That's about 80 miles, so I can do that in one hit, but generally I'll stop anyway and have a charge. It's just easy. It's not difficult. So I suppose the long and short of it is, owning an electric car for me has been absolutely a fantastic experience. I know that there's stats that have just recently come out that actually only 5% of people that have bought electric cars would go back to an ICE car or a diesel or a petrol car, which that's absolutely they're sort of right. Now, personally for me, I'll never go back to a diesel and petrol car. I don't see there's any future in it for a start. After a while, you won't be able to buy them. Their value will go down. And having my daughter as well, I start to think about other things. So the environmental impact. Now, that wasn't the forefront of my mind when I bought my car, but it is now. You know, when you see, I live near to a school, so you see parents like putting up and just leaving their engine running and those fumes constantly coming out. An electric car, you haven't got that. You know, you've got no fumes whatsoever. You know, it's zero emissions for that reason. And it's fantastic. It's quiet. It's lovely, and we like it as a family car. So, I think if it wasn't a BMW and you know I wasn't lucky enough to afford something else, I'd probably go for a Leaf, maybe one of the higher size ones. But in my experience, I think it's just been excellent. It's been an excellent experience. Now for me, the BMW's offered lots of other things, like I can stream music in my car directly from the 4G connection within the car. I can book my service through there. It's got an app. I can preheat. I can defrost my car while I'm still in my house, so I haven't got to go out and scrape the car and get into a cold car. Bit posh, I know, but you know, Leafs can do that and various other electric cars can do that as well. But it's all these added benefits that all mount up. And I think in general it's just been a better driving experience for me. I've over the last year, whilst I've really got into it, I've done journeys that I've never done before. I've gone across to Europe just because I can, and it's cheaper to do so. I've met people through my YouTube channel and Twitter, and basically having an electric car. The friends I've now got, as well as the I suppose the wide circle of people that you meet through an electric car, certainly at the moment while they're I suppose relatively new, has been great and very positive and all the rest of it. So I think if you're on the fence, give them a try. I personally, over my last year, have done 17,000 miles on top of the 2,000 miles that I had it. So within a year, I've done quite a fair old number of miles. Never had a problem once with it, and certainly won't be going back anytime soon. Anyway, that's enough of me rambling on for 1 week. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Please like, please subscribe, click the bell to get notifications of when new videos come, and please do check out all of my other videos as well. Please share this video across Twitter. I'm on Twitter. I am on Facebook and Instagram. You can catch me all on those. That's at the EV side, and the EV side in generally all the other ones. But until next time, thanks very much.